This is our first ever episode on the Bo-Lieve Podcast. I am Colton Farina. I'm 18 years old. I've been a Denver resident all my life, and I just love all the sport teams in Denver.
Hello, my name is Maddox Coiler. I'm 18 years old. I was born in Utah, and then I moved to Denver when I was one. I've been supporting every team: the Broncos, Nuggets, and the Avalanche, and big fan of the Broncos.
Yeah. So what we're gonna talk about today is just some Broncos stuff leading up to their matchup against the Falcons, and then talk a little bit about some other teams, but mainly here, as the name may suggest, mostly the Broncos. So I want to start off with Bo Nix. He won Rookie of the Week for Week 10. That's a good accomplishment. He hasn't won a single Rookie of the Week until now. Even though I disagree, I feel like he should have won some. I don't know, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I feel like Jaden Daniels, he was playing a good few weeks.
Yeah, especially these few, or not this one, but these few. It's kind of fallen apart these last 2 weeks for the Commanders. I mean, close games, but maybe the Commanders are not as legit as we thought.
Yeah, I mean, for the Commanders, I've noticed that they don't throw the ball deep that much. I don't know. They kind of play in a weird way. Like, they try to take everything fast.
And again, Bo Nix, not a lot of offensive weapons, so... And we've seen him throw deep twice to Troy Franklin at this point, where it just goes right through his hands. And Bo Nix, he said it was bad throws. I mean, obviously, he's just saying that because he doesn't want to make his teammate feel bad. His former Oregon teammate. But when I see Jaden Daniels, I like watching him play. I have him on my fantasy team, but I feel like they can't really get the job done against great teams and great defenses like Bo Nix has been doing, especially against the Chiefs. It's a terrible loss, but he played good against a good defense. It's not his fault. But yeah, I'm glad he got Rookie of the Week finally. I think we're gonna see him get it a few more times, especially if he plays good this week.
And if he keeps playing good.
And then
if he keeps playing
he
good,
really could. Yeah, exactly. He could really be a Rookie of the Year contender. And then I put this picture up here because Patrick Mahomes, obviously the best quarterback right now, definitely had a lot of nice things to say about Bo. And I just want to talk. I want to know what you think about this rivalry that's about to happen, because obviously we play the Chiefs every year, twice a year, and we haven't really been too good against them as we were in the Payton era.
Yeah, I think, these 9 years have been pretty rough, especially for the Chiefs, like before they won the Super Bowl twice. They've had a quarterback problem for a while, and then, here comes Patrick just coming out here to play really good. But, I think this rivalry will be better than, like, the Broncos and Raiders. I mean, the Raiders are really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna beat them a lot, but I think at some point in the next few years we're gonna beat them.
Yeah,
we're gonna go undefeated.
Could start sweeping them, start splitting them more. Patrick Mahomes has like a 13-1 record against the Broncos, so it's unfortunate to see that. They weren't a great team before, but it really shows what coaching can do. Like, their coach found a really good player, and I think our new coach found a really good quarterback too. I mean, that's what he's good at, finding those gems like Drew Brees and all that. And then I linked this post that we can watch. Let's see what we got here.
Of course. Sean Payton's got those guys motivated and playing great ball on the offensive side too. Bo Nix, holy shit, that guy was fucking ripping it out there
especially
yesterday.
in the first half. They got up
playing
to
some
early.
good fucking football, man. Yeah, and
man.
Coach Payton.
I like to hear that from Travis Kelce. And I don't know. I mean,
awesome.
Do you think Travis Kelce will retire this year? After this year?
No, I do not think he's gonna retire after this year. I mean,
me neither.
If the if the Chiefs win another Super Bowl, he'll probably play another year to get more.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's really catching up those tight end. Like, Chiefs records have been broken, but, like, tight end records are being broken right now by him, so.
Yeah, and he's only 35, so
yeah.
he's a few more years.
Yeah.
He really wanted to. But he definitely, like, he has had a bad year. I mean,
yeah,
he just hasn't gotten much receptions, much touchdowns. He's more of a blocker, like, this year.
I mean,
and I don't know how the Chiefs are undefeated.
Yeah, from a 9-0 team, their scheme is they're not winning games very convincingly, in my opinion, and they're not doing what Mahomes and Kelsey were doing last year. Just the two offensive players on that team. It seemed like, I mean, obviously their line is really great at holding the people back, but it's not the same as it was this year. But they're still undefeated. It's just really good coaching.
Yeah, and Travis Kelsey specifically, he only has 499 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. He only has 2 touchdowns this whole year. I mean, that's very surprising because, 2022, 2023, he was getting over 10 touchdowns. Like, he was the most dominant tight end. But, the lack of effort, I don't know. He just hasn't been very good this year.
I think the Chiefs mainly, have been... I mean, in the first few weeks, they had their whole healthy roster, and it's kind of crumbled since then. So they're really just getting as little as they need to get the job done. So I don't see them going completely undefeated this season. They got a really tough game this week against the Bills. A rivalry that I think the NFL is kind of making up out of nowhere. Like, I don't think the Bills and Chiefs are exactly rivals, but it's always fun to watch them play.
Yeah, well, the Chiefs and Bills have played against each other a lot. Like 2 years ago, in the not a championship game. It was like a wild card, I think.
Yeah,
went to like overtime. It was like 49-49. I don't know. Both these teams are good. I think Josh Allen he'll actually do better than the past games, and he'll probably pass Amari Cooper more because Amari Cooper hasn't been like a big part of the team yet.
Yeah, not as much as DeAndre Hopkins has.
Yeah, I have the Bills winning by 2, or I have the Bills winning by 7. So my prediction is like 28-20.
I like that. Hopefully the Bills can get it done. I mean, the Bills are America's team now. But what I got going here is some stats for the Broncos game, because Chiefs leaving that in the past. It happens. We got Kirk Cousins, 2024 passing statistics under pressure. So this is for Pro Football Reference, PFR. So we have time sacked, blitzed, hurried, hit while passing, pressures, and pressure percent per drop back, and then scrambles. So these are pretty high numbers-ish. If I look at my notes really fast, give me a moment. Where are my notes at? I wrote down what exactly these were in standings, his rankings, I guess I should say. So yeah, none of these stats lead in anything. Kirk leads comeback wins by a score in the fourth quarter is the only stat he leads in this year. And he's been sacked 20 times, which is ranked 16th in the NFL as of right now. I didn't check this after Thursday night's game, but I doubt that had much of an impact because what was it? What was the game? I don't really remember. It was a pretty bad game.
This game?
Yeah, the last Thursday night game. Was it Dolphins-Rams or something?
Yeah, it was Dolphins-Rams, and the Thursday a few days ago was the I forgot.
Yeah, it was a bad game. That's all I remember.
Oh, it was the Eagles and some other team.
Oh, right, yeah, that was no
Commander.
good.
Eagles Commanders.
Yeah.
But last week it was Rams.
And yeah,
Seahawks.
Another thing is that Jaden Daniels didn't play amazing, so definitely if Bo Nix can get something going, then we could definitely see him get another Rookie of the Week. And then Broncos have 35 total sacks, which is second in the league.
Wow.
With 105 pressures, or 108 now. which is also second in the league. Now, this is a really weird thing that I always notice when looking at PFR compared to Pro Football Focus, which is PFF, is this is just like there's just no way. The most team pressures this season: Denver Broncos, Baltimore Ravens. I don't know why they have a Raven in this graphic. If it's the Broncos are first, but whatever. But I don't like. What do you think is like the difference here? Because Pro Football Reference is saying total pressures is 108, and Pro Football Focus is saying 213. So I just don't get how that mix-up really happens. Like, why do they count so many pressures? What do you think?
I mean, maybe. I think different people see it as like
Just something
a pressure, like they just think the pressure is just running up and getting the quarterback.
Yeah, just like getting close when it really isn't even. They're not even like really putting pressure on. Because and what I've there's a later part of this episode where we're gonna look at some Falcon stuff, some Kirk Cousins highlights from their loss. They lost last week against the Saints, who are a pretty bad team, so they're gonna be hungry to get the win back. But we're gonna be really hungry after going on the road twice and dropping 2 to some really tough losses. And then so here is something that I really like to see is Kirk Cousins he averages getting sacked twice a game, which that's pretty normal. That's fine. But the Broncos average 3.5 sacks a game so far, and I like that. And regardless of how you see it, if the Broncos are first or they're second in pressures or they're second in sacks, we're only second behind the Giants by 1 sack, I believe. This Broncos D-line is just playing so good right now. We just extended Jonathan Cooper, and Zach Allen is just having an amazing year. So I think the main key to victory is just to get to Kirk Cousins, because he does not exactly. Either he's going to throw the ball away, or he's just going to take the sack, or just throw it incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch the Vikings a lot because my dad's a fan of them. Kirk Cousins is just terrible in the pocket. I mean, he attempts to throw it away, but he doesn't ever. So, I think Zach Allen is going to come back tomorrow. Hopefully he does. But, like, Nick Bonito, DJ Jones, Franklin Myers, Cody Barton, I think most of the plays we're going to do are blitz. I mean, also their run game is pretty bad, too. So there's going to be... I think we're going to get the first sacks in the first quarter. I mean, that's what always happens. And then we get momentum throughout the game with our defense. And, our defense have been playing awesome. I mean, I can understand, like, the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens are a top team. They made the championship last year. That was a little harder for us because I feel like the Broncos aren't capable of playing, like, high elite offense teams. I wouldn't count the Chiefs as one because the Chiefs' offense isn't that good. But like when we played the Ravens, it was like they were lost. But yeah, Kirk Cousins is bad. He's gonna get sacked a lot. That's what I think. You good? Yo.
Yeah, sorry, my mic stopped working for some reason. Okay, we're back. What I just said basically was Kirk Cousins. Again, the Falcons are not they're only 6-4, right? if Leo Chenal does not block that field goal, we're in the exact same position as them. It's not like a game where we're going to be the underdogs. I think the Broncos have a better chance to win this than the Falcons do. We're looking better. We're way hungry for the win. And I just don't think Kirk Cousins, like the way the Broncos line has been harassing these quarterbacks lately, he's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He can't run out of the pocket. He's going to get sacked. It's going to happen.
He's slow. He's pretty slow.
And even if he doesn't get sacked, what I wrote down here is Kirk Cousins has he's got a pretty good bad throw like rate. Like he only throws bad throws 10.6% of the time in a game. So that's pretty good. I think that's the best in the NFL right now. So I might have been wrong.
Yeah.
But these 3 games, they lost. Kansas City, understandable, tough team. But the Seahawks and the Steelers, really low scoring games. Just like the Broncos Steelers. Look at this. Those 3 games that he lost, he had to throw bad throws by 7% more because of the pressures that were coming at him. I mean, look at this. 41, 23, and 32%. So, and those are against good defenses. And I would say the Broncos defense is better than the Seahawks defense. It's probably on par with maybe the Steelers, and then probably a little bit worse than the Chiefs defense. So I think we can definitely pressure him a lot.
Right.
Oh yeah, right here. He's of the starting quarterbacks, he doesn't throw bad throws that much of the time. And then something I noticed from his years on the Vikings, he's definitely better this year than he was in the Vikings, but you're still seeing that old Kirk Cousins through these games. His average time in the pocket every year, so 2018, 2019, 2020 through 2024, it's around 2.5 seconds. And I'm starting to forget why I wrote that down, but I think the Broncos usually get to the quarterback within that time, like 2.5 seconds, then he gets rid of it. If the secondary can keep people covered up past those 2.5 seconds, then the D-line will be able to get to him at that point. So it's going to just be a team effort. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to be honest, I was watching some film of the offensive line for the Falcons. Their center is really good, and the left tackle is good, but like the rights, like if you watch most of the sacks that happen against the Falcons,
it comes from the right. Yeah, I noticed that too.
It's all on the right side, and I think Benito plays on the right side too. Yeah. So, they might double Benito, but like I don't think that's gonna happen. But we're definitely gonna have 2 linebackers rush on the right side, and what you're saying, like 2.4 seconds. We're gonna get there pretty fast and sack him.
Yeah, and just as long as the secondary can just keep it less, just keep them from getting crazy separation, Kirk Cousins won't be able to make the throw, and he'll just throw it out. So I marked some times here for us to watch of their last loss of the Saints, 3:25. Some of these things I don't remember, but I'll know pretty quick.
Cousins' health. The other thing.
So let me lower this volume and then we'll react to it. So this is him in the pocket. He has good pocket awareness.
Yes.
But his only option as a quarterback is to throw. Like we saw that the pocket was closing. I feel like in that situation, I love Bo Nix, but Bo Nix might have started running there or panicked because he's a rookie and Kirk is sort of a vet. But it's a bad throw. Like that's not a good throw. Because as a quarterback, his only option is to throw. He's not a dual threat. That's pretty much it. That's all he got is to throw. I think it's something that the Falcons haven't exactly prepared for. Bo Nix is a tricky guy to play against.
Also with Kirk Cousins, it might seem as he takes his time on his throws, he does not take his time.
Yeah.
You will, he gets so many incompletions per game.
He's thrown a fair amount of picks this year. I won't lie.
No, yeah, I mean everyone. Kirk Cousins loves throwing interceptions. I mean, when he was playing for the Vikings, I mean, sometimes he'd throw 3 to 4 average. I mean,
yeah, it was.
Kirk Cousins, he's a mediocre quarterback. He cannot run. Okay, he's slow. He can't move around. He doesn't take his time when he throws. I think the only good thing, that Kirk Cousins can do is he knows where to throw the ball at the right time.
Yeah. He's very accurate.
You'll probably he's one of the most efficient and accurate quarterbacks in the league. I know that. So, when you're watching the game, just watch him throw it in the right spot. Most of that happens on the medium and long plays, but yeah, he's an okay quarterback for sure.
Here's another thing. This is in the red zone. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, he got hit when he threw it. Let's see if we can get a closer look. Yeah, this guy gets to him on the left side, surprisingly, but it's just he took so long in the pocket. Really, he did. There was no reason to stay that long. There had to be somewhere open or something. And if not, then that means our Broncos defense is better than the Saints defense. So if no one's open in the red zone for the Saints, it's going to be the same case here for the Broncos. So that's a good sign to see. We can even count it out. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's when he goes over that 2.5 second mark, it's pretty much over for Kirk, I think.
Right.
See, I got 10-20 marked down. Let's watch this. Yeah, right there. From his right. So yeah, right side of the line. And that's a hell of an effort from that pass rush, by the way, to get to him through the guy. But again, he's just really holding on to the ball that long. His eyes are not in the right spot, and that was the first sack of the day from the fourth. I mean, the Saints defense is not great, but he will take those sacks. He's not as aware as people like to make it seem.
Oh, and see on 1022 or on 1020 clip, the left tackle, he doesn't have anyone at guard.
Yeah.
So, for the Broncos, when they have 5 rushers rushing, the chances of the rusher getting quarterback is 80%. It's going to be really high.
Yeah, it's much higher. Here's another thing. Around midfield, he gets it. Yeah, he's going to do these stupid throws. And that's an amazing interception, but that's not a smart throw because the pocket closed on him. Let me get back to that. The pocket closed and he fell apart. I mean, they really just got to him. Threw it bad, picked off. He wants to get rid of the ball. He wants to throw it every play. He's itching to throw it. He doesn't throw it away that often, only 10 times this whole year. He spiked it 3 times. That's a weird thing to keep track of, in my opinion, but he's gonna get rid of it. The Broncos have played mobile quarterbacks the last 2 weeks, so I really hope Sean Payton can figure out a method to stop the efficiency of the receiving room of the Falcons. There's great receivers there, and definitely bottle up Bijan Robinson. He's not Derrick Henry. He's not. Well, I guess we didn't play against Pacheco. He's definitely stoppable. He's not too big of a threat, in my opinion. But don't ever say that about any team. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. So here's our last clip. And there you go. We'll count this one out too. 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's why I wrote this down. Really, he's not great in the pocket. Is really what we're trying to get at here.
No, I mean, Kirk. Okay, so Kirk Cousins is 2-1 against the Broncos in his career. last time we played him was November 17th, 2019. So that's like 3 years after we won the Super Bowl. I mean, just saying this now. I know our defense has changed, but the last time he played against us, he had 300 yards and 0 touchdowns. Yeah, we're gonna get him a lot.
Yeah,
I bet you Riley Moss or Surtain. I mean,
there will definitely be a pick. Yeah,
yeah.
There's definitely gonna be a pick. There's gonna be a time he's gonna throw a dumb ball because the pressure's closing from Zach Allen and Jonathan Cooper and Nick Bonito or whoever the center pass rush is, and it's gonna get picked, and it could be huge considering the offense is getting better at capitalizing off these defensive turnovers. So I think the last thing we're probably going to talk about is this is the thing I've been thinking about so much is where will Shedeur Sanders go? So Broncos play in Denver, Colorado.
Right.
And the college just right down the sidewalk has a lot of potential, a lot of potentially great players on their team. We have Shedeur Sanders, future Heisman, hopefully, Travis Hunter. There's some other good receivers, LeJontay Wester and Shepard, but something I've really been thinking about with Shedeur Sanders is he's probably going to be a top 5, top 16 pick for a quarterback. I mean, there's a lot of teams that need a quarterback. Big ones that come to mind are obviously the Raiders and the Giants. And after the Giants lost the Tank Bowl against the Panthers, they're going to get a better draft pick. And Daniel Jones' clock is ticking. He's not a good quarterback. He's definitely the problem. We talked about it. They are first in sacks, so their defense is doing something right. The Giants, their main weakness is the coaching and the quarterback. And
the Giants have tried to rebuild. Ever since Eli Manning left, they've tried. I mean, they've had a handful of new coaches, new quarterbacks. And yeah, for sure, Daniel Jones is probably the worst quarterback in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's not good at all.
He's really bad. I mean, I'd rather have Bryce Young on the team instead of Daniel Jones, for sure.
I mean, yeah, and the Panthers proved that. Really sad fumble by the rookie Tyrone Tracy Jr. I hate to see that from him. I don't think that defines his career. I think he's going to be a great player. It really is rough. The Panthers had a lot of opportunities to win. The Giants had a lot of opportunities to win, and it really just came down to a field goal, as most games do. Right. There's other quarterbacks. There's Cameron Ward. The Tankathon in the 25 NFL mock draft has the Titans picking him. Will Levis sucks, obviously. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And they have the Jags taking Travis Hunter. Also makes sense. Now, if the Giants were on the clock before the Raiders, which they most likely will they draft Shedeur Sanders? I think Shedeur is definitely a good quarterback. He'll be good in the NFL. None of these quarterbacks right now are as good as the ones we had this year, I don't think, or maybe in previous years. But a big thing that I was thinking about is the rumors of Shedeur being a future Raider, because Tom Brady is very closely connected to the Sanders family. There's times where they see Deion, Tom Brady, and Shedeur all hanging out, or Brady coaching Sanders, talking. And Tom Brady owns a part of the Raiders now, which is kind of odd to me. Pretty weird weird franchise to buy into, but
yeah.
What I think would be interesting is if he did go to the Raiders, that means now the Broncos have to play one of their fellow college, quarterbacks twice a year.
Quarterbacks, yeah.
And that would be another very interesting rivalry. I put this down. This is the last time Bo Nix and Shedeur Sanders faced off. Maybe the only time they did. I don't pay too much attention to college football. It was a blowout. Bo Nix ran the Buffaloes over. This was only last year. The Buffaloes were good last year. They're better this year, but still, it was they ran them over. So what do you think about Raiders Shedeur Sanders team versus a Broncos and a Chiefs dwindling team twice a year? Like how is the AFC West looking in your opinion in the next few years? If Shedeur were to go to the Raiders.
Yeah, for sure. So if Shedeur goes to the Raiders, I know personally Broncos fans would be happy to, like, I don't know, we'd actually play a fun rival instead of, like, some weird booger-eating quarterback.
Booger Minshew?
Sure. Yeah, Booger Minshew. Yeah, but no, on real notes, yeah, I think Shedeur will probably go to the Raiders. It's a very high chance. The Raiders, last year they were trying to be really good. The Devontae Adams thing didn't work out very well.
No.
He got traded this year. Yeah, so Shedeur goes to the Raiders. Yeah, I mean, it'll make the rivalry better, and yeah, the Raiders are kind of rebuilding. And then with the Chiefs, I mean, what I was saying earlier is like, there's going to be years that each team is better than the other. So, like, I don't know. And next year, the year after that, we're going to go undefeated against the Chiefs for sure.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
We have a better winning record over the Raiders, like, all time.
Yeah, the Raiders are kind of a bad franchise just historically of all time. They've had location issues, coaching issues. Don't really remember the last time they won a Super Bowl. Maybe it was like the 90s or something. They're not very good. Yeah. They made really poor. Yeah, 1990 when? 2?
It was something in the 1990s. I think it was 98.
Oh, 98.
Yeah.
Wow.
100%.
It's a while ago. It's like the Bears. But I think this here doesn't tell a whole story. I mean, obviously there's the defense of the Buffaloes. Maybe the defense was on point. It was a long time ago. I watched the highlights of this game. But, I mean, Bo Nix, he's obviously a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders. We're seeing it now.
Right.
He's overcoming a lot of obstacles. I really like how Bo Nix is playing. I think Bo Nix versus Shedeur would be an amazing rivalry. I think Shedeur is going to have a little bit of a struggle, especially on a really struggling franchise like the Giants or the Raiders. I think he'd have a better like outlook going to the Giants, considering their defense is good, their offensive line isn't terrible, and they have crazy weapons. Malik Neighbors.
Right.
The other guy, I'm forgetting his name. I apologize. But I think if he were a Raider, that would be a great rivalry. I think the Broncos would continue to beat the Raiders the next few years, but it could definitely be splits every year. Who knows?
Yeah, and talking about the Raiders, just real quick. I mean, I hate them. I don't like them.
No sane Broncos fan likes them. They suck. Yeah.
But I was gonna say, like, the Raiders could have been good this year. I'm not gonna lie.
They could have. They have an X Factor player on Max Crosby, Devontae Adams. I don't understand the Derek Carr trade. I really don't get it.
Yeah, that was
a big mess in this organization that they need to figure out. I think the Broncos are gonna start to come out as a better franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, when the Packers traded Javonte Williams to the Raiders, it was supposed to be like college meetup again with Derek Carr and Devontae Adams, because they both play in college, but like Devontae Adams just, I don't know, he never built chemistry with his team.
No.
I mean, the offense for the Raiders is really bad, and they've changed coaches 3 times. And about the coach, Antonio Pierce, whatever his name is, I don't think he's the right fit for them.
No.
I think they need a different coach for sure. And honestly, like, take one of our damn quarterbacks. We don't need Zach Wilson or Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah.
We have Bo Nix.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like through the trade deadline, we could have traded for maybe the tight end, Brock Wingers. It's very hard to trade rookies. But
I think we're gonna see a Broncos quarterback leave in this offseason. I think it's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. And with our offensive part, we need receivers because
we need we're getting all our draft capitals and all that back after the Russell Wilson drama. So I think the Broncos are going to emerge as a much better team in the AFC West throughout the next years. And I think another big part of that is the so-called crackerback Riley Moss. I put this up here. Moss is playing amazing. It's his second year. He played pretty much 0 snaps last year. It's weird when you have a player playing a role, and like again, it doesn't, like, the color of your skin, whatever, it doesn't affect anything. It doesn't matter. It's just cornerback is a role dominated by mostly black players. Like, that's just the truth. He's let's see if it's on the next slide. He's the first white cornerback to catch an interception in 22 years. It was done last by Jason Sehorn in 2002 for the New York Giants. This is a little picture to show you how old that is. 2002, before both of us were born. And by the way, this picture looks amazing. It's the coolest picture ever. I love the throwbacks. The throwbacks really gave us superpowers, truly. But Moss, what I really liked last game in the Chiefs game is Moss playing against a fast rookie wide receiver, Xavier Worthy, and locking him up, really. I mean, Xavier Worthy this year, in my opinion, has not been what the Chiefs wanted. He's seen a total of 43 targets, only receiving less than half of those for a really mediocre 250 yards. Really mediocre.
Yeah.
And especially, like, one of his worst games, probably his worst game, against Denver, he got 1 catch. He got 11 yards out of that catch. And I'm pretty sure Moss, from what I saw, was on Worthy every snap. And we had PS2 on DeAndre Hopkins, who also didn't do much. I mean, truly, we outplayed the Chiefs. The whole secondary defense. The defense showed up, and the offense showed up. It's a heartbreaking loss, but I think it really does show, especially after Bo Nix winning Rookie of the Week, it does show who this team can be.
Yeah, Xavier Worthy, I thought going in his first year, I mean, the start of his year was pretty good. I mean, his first 2 games, he had, I think he had a few touchdowns, or no, he didn't have a touchdown.
He had his first touchdown against the Ravens, and then against the Chargers and against the Raiders.
But against the Chargers, there was that 1 week where he went up 73 yards and 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's not that good.
He's not been shaping up to what they think they were gonna.
No.
And some of these defenses that the Chiefs have played are really good, and he's a rookie, so it's hard to kind of integrate yourself into that. But oh, my bad. That's Jesus. That's just how it crumbles sometimes. Rookies do not always shape up to what you want. Look at Caleb Williams. The Bears are really struggling this year. It would have been awesome if the Broncos had a game against the Bears or against any of the other rookie quarterbacks, and we could show that Bo Nix definitely is the draft winner. And I think we're going to see that at the end of this year. I think Bo Nix is better than Jaden Daniels any day of the week. And I think a lot of that comes from playing an extra year in college. And I think he really is playing like a second year. He's got that maturity. Another year in college. I would recommend a lot of players do that. But that's not my decision. But maybe Bo Nix will show that that's a good thing to do. These are just the links that we got for all of our things. Pro Football Reference, probably my favorite site to do these stats, because they try and do it as accurate as possible, unlike giving like the Pro Football Focus and just giving the Broncos 200 pressures and whatever. And here's some other things that I saw that we'll wrap up with right here. Oh, not this one. This season, the Broncos lead the NFL with just 4.7 yards allowed per play on defense. It's pretty good.
Really good.
Here's something that really catches my eye. The Broncos can sweep the NFC South for the first time in team history this year. Beat the Panthers, beat the Buccaneers, beat the Saints. Those are all blowout games. I mean, it wasn't even close. We both went to the Panthers game in person. Great game, awesome atmosphere, Broncos country. Let's get it done. Let's sweep the South, and let's sweep a season for the first time. Let's ride.
Let's ride. Yes, sir.
And then this one, I want to know what you think of this one. Bo Nix can join Pro Football Hall of Famer Peyton Manning. That's right, the Peyton Manning is the only rookie quarterback of all time with at least 200 passing yards and multiple touchdown passes in 4 consecutive home games. What do you think of that?
Ooh, that is an exciting stat to hear after all these years. I mean,
it's been rough in the quarterback room for the Broncos, but
yeah. Bo Nix has been playing exceptional. I know we've talked about it a lot. He deserves Rookie of the Year in my opinion. I mean, the fact that he averages over 50 yards rushing every game.
Yeah, he's
almost every game.
He's doing better than our running backs and a lot of other running backs.
Yeah, he hasn't thrown much interceptions, and the fact that on the weirdest defensive plays against Cortland's son, he still gets an easy, nice pass.
Yeah, and on that note, Cortland Sutton's been getting 100-yard games this year. Cortland Sutton, I 100% think he's going to retire as a Bronco. I don't think he's going anywhere. He said he's really committed to the team. He wants to hold the Lombardi in Denver. It's a good thing to hear. He doesn't get injured very much. He's getting sort of old in NFL terms, but he doesn't get injured very much. He's playing like he's in his prime right now. I think as this relationship continues to develop and we get more weapons on the offensive side of things, I think that a Super Bowl is definitely in Denver's sights in the next 5-6 years.
Yeah, and speaking of Cortland Sutton, talking about his prime years last year, I know he's gone through a handful of quarterbacks. I mean, he's been on the team for 5-6 years already, but last year he was our top player for sure, in my opinion. He had all those great touchdowns. I'm glad we don't have Jerry Jeudy. He was one of the worst receivers ever. I don't know why we got him. I don't know why he kept him so long, but yeah, just connecting to Cortland Sutton, he is receiver one because the plays he can make. He's a good runner too. He can run fast.
Yeah, he's definitely a yak machine.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to on the game. He's gonna for sure have some touchdowns. And yeah, they're gonna go deep a lot of plays too.
Yeah,
and it's good that we're back home too.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think Bo Nix definitely has an opportunity, win another Rookie of the Week, sweep this team, get back in the win column, get a positive record, equalize with the Falcons, get a better seed spot, and let's just, if you are Broncos country, this Sunday, make sure you're rooting for all your AFC teams to lose. All the let's see, what is it?
Raiders, Chargers.
All the Raiders, the Chargers,
Where the Chiefs play this week?
The Chiefs play the Bills.
Oh, the Bills.
Yeah.
Bills, yeah.
Root for your Jaguars to lose, your Titans to lose, your Colts to lose, your Browns to lose. Hopefully the Bengals lose. I think one more thing that we'll say before we wrap up is the Broncos do play the Bengals soonish. We play them this year, and we're gonna play them at a time where playoff hopes are starting to materialize more. So that could be a huge game for playoff contention.
Yeah, that will be a big one.
It really could be which teams make the wild card and which don't. And from what you've seen from the Bengals and the Broncos, who do you think would come out on top of that 7 seed fight?
I mean, personally, I'm just gonna. I think the Broncos will come out on top. I mean, our schedule for the next few weeks. I mean, we play the Falcons. I think it's the Raiders.
Yeah, then the Browns.
Raiders then Browns.
Both
I mean, if we win those
7 right now.
Yeah, if we win those, if we win every game from this year, we could go 12-5. That's a very big ask, but
just a winning record would be incredible.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the Bengals schedule. They play the Steelers, Cowboys, So Titans. I mean, they kind of have an easy record, but
their defense
if they lose,
is trash. Their defense
their
is
defense
trash.
is bad. But if the Bengals lose to the Chargers and Steelers, then their playoff hopes are down, and we will have a higher spot. Yeah. And we need the Chargers to keep losing too.
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers.
If we lose this week, we're gonna be. I mean, it's not gonna be good, but we'll still. I think we'll still be in the 7th or 8th spot.
Yeah, considering how bad the AFC is this year, so many 2-7 and 2-8 teams, it really is kind of pathetic. Colts.
Yeah.
It's between the Colts and Bengals, I guess, 4-6, but the Bengals are by far the better team than the Colts. They're having so many weird issues with their quarterback. They're not treating Anthony Richardson right. Anthony Richardson is not in that game mindset. He's not like fully adapted to the NFL. I mean, I understand you're the youngest quarterback, but you can't just be tired as an NFL athlete.
All the time. Yeah.
Especially in a role that isn't as tiring as some of the other roles. The Colts are a mess. The Bengals defense is a mess. I think the Broncos have a genuine chance. This game is huge. This Falcons game is huge. Make sure you guys tune in. If you can't, just tune in spirit.
Streamist it.
Yeah.
Stream.
Pirate it, whatever you need to do. Just kidding, we don't condone that. Maybe we do. Anyways, next week we'll talk more about some more Nugget stuff. We could briefly touch on these new jerseys. They look really clean. I really like them. Getting kind of fed up with this 5-2-8-0 thing. Like, I understand it's the elevation of Denver. A lot of teams are doing it. It's getting a little bit old, but I still like it. The rainbow's been a big part of the Nuggets uniform since like the 90s and all that.
Yeah.
And I really like his jerseys. I think they're clean. Hopefully we show them. Tough loss to the Pelicans, but not many starters were playing. Joker dealing with some issues, but I think the Nuggets are looking really nice this year. Nuggets and the Avalanche both went on a 5-win streak at some point this year.
That's great.
Especially with injured stuff, family stuff going on. Denver's in a good spot. And the Broncos is this cornerstone. Denver's a football town. It has been. This Broncos team is getting exciting. It's getting electric.
No, it's getting good here.
So hopefully we see us improve to 6-5. See the Falcons fall to 6-5. Keep our 7th seed spot and then get 2 easy games on our belt before the bye week. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how we'll wrap up here. I think we touched on some cool stuff. Thank you for watching. This is our first episode. So we'll be watching this back, at least I will, to make sure we can improve anything. And yeah, have a absolutely awesome day and Broncos country. Let's ride.
Have a great day. Let's ride.